Mr. Speaker, I rise today to celebrate the National Trust for Historic Preservation's 65th National Preservation Conference, which will be held in my community of Western New York next week. Over 2,000 people from across the country and around the world will converge on Buffalo to be immersed in our considerable and remarkable architecture. What makes this conference unique is that our community's historic preservation assets are the very reason the conference is being held there. The centerpiece will be the numerous buildings, homes, parks, neighborhoods that were remarkable upon their construction and will help grow us in the future. This conference will provide international validation to what many in Western New York have long known and understood, that our ability lies in recapturing the potential of what we have built in the past, and we are doing just that. Buffalo is home to the nation's first park and parkway system, designed in the 19th century by the famed landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, where 1,200-acre parklands are some of the very best in all the world. The Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy is leading a multi-million-dollar effort to restore the parks so Western New Yorkers can visit and can appreciate and enjoy them for decades to come. Meanwhile, we are meticulously restoring buildings integral to our architectural legacy. These include the Darwin Martin House, the Gray Cliff Estate by Frank Lloyd Wright, the Guarantee Building by Louis Sullivan, the Buffalo Psychiatric Center by Henry Hobson Richardson, and the Hotel Lafayette by one of America's first female architects, Louise Blanchard Bethune. These efforts are not just examples of historic preservation. They represent a new confidence that we can take charge of our own future by reclaiming our past. Mr. Speaker, historic preservation efforts in Buffalo and Western New York also demonstrate the importance of partnerships between the federal government and the private sector. Without these partnerships, many preservation projects would never get off the ground. Federal tools like the Historic Preservation Tax Credit and the New Markets Tax Credit bring builders, investors, development professionals together, and they have the capacity to turn around entire communities. In Buffalo, $64 million of New Market Tax Credits investment have occurred since 2005. This investment has leveraged projects totaling over $141 million in our community. The New Markets program has encouraged the redevelopment of the Oak School lofts, Ellicott Commons, the Electric Tower, the Webb lofts, Asbury Hall, AM&A's Warehouse lofts, 567 Exchange Street, the Larkin Exchange Complex, the Erie-Lackawanna train station in Jamestown, and the Innovation Center at the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus. All of these projects involved either a restoration of a historic vacant building or new construction in an economically distressed area. Mr. Speaker, I support legislation that would extend the New Market Tax Program and authorize it at $5 billion or more a year. And I support extending the Historic Preservation Tax Credit because I have seen in Buffalo how cost-effective and successful this program can be. Older industrial areas like Buffalo will be able to compete and succeed in a globalized economy if their leaders develop a culture of innovation and create new economic opportunities while taking advantage of the unique assets of the past. Buffalo and Western New York are ready to meet that challenge. I congratulate those who have led this effort to host this important conference, especially Bob Skirker and Catherine Schweitzer, and the hundreds of Western New Yorkers who will make this conference a success. To the conference attendees and visitors from all around the world, I would say our community is honored to host you and proud to show off our unique architecture and historic assets. I promise you will not be disappointed. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. The chair.